Hey everybody, I'm Tammy Skomorowski and I'm the owner of True Self Wellness for Mind, Body, and Spirit, where I offer counseling, spiritual life coaching, and meditation classes. And so today I'm here to talk to you about keeping yourself healthy during this time when too many of us are feeling really stressed and overwhelmed. So as most of you probably already know, keeping your physical self healthy is super important. Everybody knows about good hand hygiene. Everybody knows about social distancing. Everybody knows about keeping your body healthy, keeping the stress down so that the immune system is up. Everybody knows these things. But what I'm here to talk to you about today is about your emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. And two things that have been really key for me, and I have to admit I've learned these lessons the hard way, are what I'm ingesting in terms of not like food and drink. Well, that's important, but what I'm ingesting psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually is hugely important. And also how I decompress, bringing the stress down is super key. So number one, what I learned the hard way was, as you may or may not know, I don't often watch the news. Many counselors do not watch the news for all kinds of reasons. However, last week I did watch some very, I have to say, sensationalized news where the newscaster was yelling and talking in this really loud, aggressive voice and throwing all of these numbers at me. And I have to admit, I was feeling extremely stressed, anxious, overwhelmed for days afterward from one news show. So it really brought to mind the question of what am I ingesting? What am I putting in psychologically, emotionally? What am I putting into myself? Because it really set the tone for quite a few days. So I now stick to very reliable news sources so that I am informed, but I'm informed in not such a fear-based, sensationalized way. So personally, I'm not here to slam any network, so I'm just going to tell you what I like. I'm not going to tell you who freaked me out. But I've realized that CTV, CBC, and my Northern Health Authority, so the health authority for your region in Northern BC, it's Northern Health Authority, have been very informative and helpful. And actually, it's given me a sense of peace just to know the information without feeling inundated and overwhelmed with it. So that is something that I have learned the hard way. So what I'm putting in, I've become very conscious and aware of. The other thing that I started to do was, in order to decompress and decrease some of my stress levels, I've increased my meditation practice. So I've added an evening meditation to my routine. Actually, it's a bedtime meditation that I've incorporated. And what I like to do is I turn out all of the living room lights. I like to open the curtains and I sit on the sofa in front of the window. Yes, in my jammies in front of the window. It's very peaceful. I put my computer screen on night mode so that it's not so much light coming at me because that can be too stimulating, which can start to trigger the stress response. So I put it on night mode. And then I set my timer to count up. It used to be that when I did my meditation practice, I would use a gong or a bell to come out of my practice. But I recently attended a meditation weekend retreat, and very wise words were spoken that when we use those bells to come out of a meditation, it's quite jarring, especially after we've been in a really relaxed state, and it can start to trigger that fight, flight, freeze, stress response again. So I've started setting my timer to count up. And what I do is during my sitting, because I like to sit for 20 minutes, what I like to do is I will just kind of like take a peek at my timer, or I'll just like eyes half open, see what the time looks like so that I can gently come out of my 20 minutes. So I'd like to share with you not the exact meditation that I've been doing at bedtime. It's a little bit lengthy, but I'd like to give you a shorter version. So if you're willing to do this with me, I'm going to invite you to get seated nice and comfortably. So when we get seated, this is our posture or our asana that we are assuming. And your asana or your posture isn't just your physical posture, but it's also your mental or psychological posture that you're taking. It's the emotional or the attitudinal position that we are also assuming. Because your body, your physical posture can impact your psychological or emotional state of mind. So to be seated upright so that you are awake, not falling asleep, but calm and relaxed can actually create the same calm, relaxed state of mind. So I want you to take a nice and comfortable posture, closing your eyes. Or if you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. You could just have a soft gaze down at the floor so that you are minimizing all visual input and taking a moment just to tune into the breath, to notice where it is. Perhaps it's in the throat or the chest. Maybe it's in the solar plexus or the belly. Wherever it is perfectly fine. And in just one moment, we're going to slow the breath down. And I like to breathe in through the nose with a nice pause, and out through the mouth. But you can do whatever feels right for you, whatever's most comfortable. And so whenever you're ready, we're going to breathe in together, starting now. With a pause. Exhale. Breathing in. With a pause. And an exhale. Releasing all of the air out. And breathing in. With a pause. Exhale. And breathing in with a pause. And as you exhale, I want you to release all tension from the top of your head down the face, allowing everything to soften down the head and over the ears, relaxing the neck and throat. And with that next exhale, allowing the shoulders to drop away, everything washing down the shoulders, down the arms and out through the hands and the fingertips. And with that next exhale, releasing everything, even just for a moment, down the shoulders and the chest, releasing the back and the belly, allowing everything to soften and sink into your chair. And with that next exhale, allowing the whole torso to sink into the chair, allowing the hips to release, letting go of any tension down the legs, down the feet, everything washing away out through the feet into the floor. And notice how good it feels to release everything, even if it's just for a moment. And knowing that you can use this anytime you need, at bedtime, anytime that you sit to eat, anytime that you're washing your hands. Or you could set a cue to use this whenever you need at a stop sign, whatever that cue is for you. And carrying this feeling with you, carrying the knowledge with you about your cue, you can gently start to wiggle the toes and the fingers, rolling the shoulders, opening your eyes, coming back into the room. So I'd love for you to post below how you are feeling in this moment. Let me know if you're feeling anything different, if something shifted, or even if it hasn't. That's okay too. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. And I'm going to say namaste, namaste. That means the light in me sees the light in you.